when I had acne, it was terrible. I'm a very positive person. I'm optimistic. I have a really healthy self-esteem. And I got to a point where I was depressed and I didn't want to leave my house.
And this drives me a little bit bonkers. The clean beauty movement and everything has to be natural. And it's like, just because it's natural doesn't actually mean it's good for your skin.
I would say it affects almost everyone, whether they admit it or not. It's hard because it's on your face and it's, people judge it.
I think it's such an important topic because it can be such a debilitating condition. And there's so much misinformation, different things, and different methods of treating acne.
Give it 12 weeks. Acne takes 12 weeks.
I feel like all these fitness people are like, hang on, stop.
Hey, I'm Beck, dermal therapist, makeup artist, and host of Your Glow Code, the podcast where we talk all things skin, health, confidence, and living your glowiest life. Hit that subscribe button and give us a like, and leave us a comment below. It helps more than you know. And now for today's episode.
Welcome back to the next episode of Skin for You. Today, we're talking with the incredible Rebecca Meyers, an award-winning acne expert. Rebecca is the founder of the Acne Coach and the creator of the skincare brand Clearology. Her virtual acne program, Clear Academy, offers an effective solution for people who've tried everything for their acne but with no success. With over 18 years of experience in treating acne, Rebecca's method has an incredible 95% success rate for her clients. She has now created an innovative method of treating acne virtually with the same 95% results and has been doing this now for over a decade. Rebecca was awarded Face Reality's first ever Acne Specialist of the Year in 2018 and was awarded again in 2019 as the first runner-up for her virtual results. She's taught her highly requested virtual class to hundreds of skincare professionals on her virtual academy and changed people's skin all around the world. Welcome, Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here and talk about one of my favorite topics ever, which is acne.
I love it. I think it's such an important topic because it can be such a debilitating condition. And there's so much misinformation, different things, and different methods of treating acne. So to delve in, why don't you give us a rundown of some of the causes of acne and how that can have some mental health effects on us?
Yeah, I started this journey because I had acne myself as a teenager. And I know firsthand the mental health and the emotional challenges acne brings. It's devastating for most people. And I really love the philosophy of just love yourself anyway. But the truth is it's hard. It's really, really hard to do that. And so I created my whole treatment program and my whole process to basically knock acne out as fast as possible so we can cultivate the self-love and get the healing at the same time. It is just, so many of our clients are hiding, depressed. The word suicidal comes up a lot. I mean, it's really devastating. And even after treating acne for all of these years, 18 years now, almost 19, it still just breaks my heart when I see somebody walking on, in the street or walking in somewhere with acne. I just know how they feel. And sometimes we have new clients come in and they'll act really self-assured. But once we really start getting in there and digging things out and figuring out what's going on, it always comes out that they were very, very devastated and depressed. And some of them won't ever speak to us until the end, and then they blossom into this new person. So I wouldn't say acne affects some mentally and emotionally. I would say it affects almost everyone, whether they admit it or not. It's hard because it's on your face and it's, people judge it. It makes you feel so small and insecure and in the spotlight. And I'm passionate. I mean, I'm just still to this day so passionate about helping people not feel that way.
Yep. How beautiful. It's such a gift to be able to help people on so many levels. And I think that must be, well, it is. I know it firsthand, and I know that you would feel the same. It's just, it gives you such a sense of purpose and makes you want to get up every day and help those people. So that's incredible.
Yes.
So, alongside that, what would some of the causes of acne be for people suffering from acne? Obviously, there is a myriad of things that can cause it, from genetics to life to health and everything. But could you give us a rundown on some of the common causes of acne that you see?
So, the way that I approach acne
Yes.
and my training taught me, and this was after trying first, definitely trying first the holistic and the detox. I tried that for so long, and I actually didn't get a result from that. Interestingly, and now 25 years later, I'm actually going to reapproach that again, and see. I could have had the wrong practitioner back then, but for whatever reason, it didn't work. And so I went on to seek different training. And so the way that I was taught is acne is genetic. It's a gene, and that you get that typically from your parents. So it's really rare. And we ask all of our clients, did your mom or dad or even like an uncle or aunt have acne? Almost everyone. I think I've come across just one or two who one of their relatives didn't have it. So it's a genetic condition, and that acne gene can activate at any time. So it's a myth that it's a teenage problem. It's just that hormones contribute and can activate that a little quicker, but it can turn on at any time. And we have a lot of clients in their 30s, and they're like, I don't understand. I've never had acne in my life. And their acne gene just activated. So when that gene is active, what that means is that your pores on your face fill up with dead skin cells rapidly. So normal skin sheds about 1 layer of dead skin cells a day. Acne-prone skin, when that acne gene is active, sheds about 4 to 5. So your skin is clogging up itself. So when that's activated, there are a few triggers that can exacerbate acne. And some of that's diet. And in the diet, the big triggers are too much dairy, not I don't have people avoid all dairy, but too much dairy. And in particular, whey protein, that's a really big one, a big trigger for acne. Interestingly, peanut butter is another one.
Oh, I feel like all these fitness people are like, hang on, stop.
Well, I do want to clarify, only if you have acne or only if that gene is active. People hear me say this and I'm like, don't worry. If you don't have that gene, you're totally fine. But if you do, you cause you to break out. So that, and then also with diet, B12, in a lot of supplements and protein shakes, you want to watch out for vitamin B12. Too much vitamin B12 can cause breakouts.
Interesting.
Pretty across the board. Iodine and biotin, because biotin is a cell proliferator. It's in a lot of hair, skin, and nails supplements. And so people will take that, and sometimes doctors will recommend clients with acne take that, but it's for their skin. But what it does is it makes those already rapidly growing skin cells grow even more. So B12, iodine, biotin, and algae and kelp, which you will find in a lot of really good holistic supplements. And that might have been where I went wrong years ago, as my naturopath had me on, we were doing the body detox, but I was taking algae, and my skin was a mess. So those are the main dietary triggers. It's really, I just keep it pretty simple. I like to make acne a very simple, not overly complicated process. There's hormonal factors. Usually it's the hormonal contributions to acne that I've seen are from the wrong birth control. It's the birth control that's higher in the testosterone. And so women who are on that, like IUDs, any of the implants, like the Nexplanon, and a lot of pills. And that was actually in my case too. I was prescribed the wrong kind of birth control, the ones higher in androgen, when I was 12 for my acne. And it was all these years later, I found out it was the wrong kind. So we have women kind of transition off of those and get onto the other side, and they're fine. And then 90% of it, in my experience, 90% of breakouts, once that gene is activated, and only when the gene is activated, is topical pore-clogging ingredients. That's a huge one. And in my so many years I spent prior to becoming an acne specialist, nobody ever told me that.
No.
No one ever talked about that. And it turns out it's one of the biggest contributors to acne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's why that's led you to create the Clearology range, so that you can
Yes.
have that. Yes.
Yeah, because it is really difficult to find a brand of skincare that is free of those pore clogging ingredients. I had no choice but to have my own created.
Yeah.
Because even one of the wrong pore clogging ingredients can cause breakouts.
Wow. Just one.
Yeah.
And so could you give us an example of some of these pore clogging ingredients for people?
Yeah. Some of the most common would be coconut oil, shea butter. Those are very clogging. They're both natural and chemical. So then we have the sodium lauryl sulfate, the SLS, Laureth 4, Laureth 7. Those are really common. I have my list here. There's a list of over 150. The most common ones are a lot of the natural oils. And even if you have one, avocado oil, apricot oil, argan oil, but I wanted to, some of the chemical ones that are common, some of the red 36, red 30. So there's, it's really, I mean, here's my list. It's long. It's really, really long. And actually,
wow.
I have an extended one with a whole other page now that goes into the natural oils. But it's really difficult to find products that don't have one or two of those.
Yes.
Oh, isopropyl myristate, that's a big one.
huge.
And that's in the topical, a lot of the topical retin-A creams,
Yes.
a lot of the tretinoin creams.
Yeah. And I find that fascinating too, especially in the world at the moment where we're on this, and this drives me a little bit bonkers, the clean beauty movement, and everything has to be natural. And it's like, just because it's natural doesn't actually mean it's good for your skin.
That's right. I mean, that's funny. And about coconut oil specifically, I used to think it was just acne. So I would tell people you can use it on your body. It's a great moisturizer. But then the studies came out that said it's so high in oleic acid, it pulls the moisture out.
Ouch.
I used to use it as a moisturizer and I stopped because it did not help at all. I was like, why is my skin so dry? And then that study confirmed that. But you're absolutely right. And especially with acne, my line is non-toxic and it's as organic and natural as possible, but I can only go so far until we have all these clogging ingredients and oils we have to avoid.
Yes.
But I agree with you.
It's a huge thing. And it really is, it's a little bone of contention for me, because I'm like, that's not necessarily true, but we do want to be as safe as we can, but just because it's natural.
It's one of those things that makes sense on paper. It's
100%,
one of those, you know what I mean? And I bought into it too. I tried for years to stick to that, and I finally had to give up. And now I see so many people fall into that as well. And I completely agree with you. I'm always the first to say, no, coconut oil, do not put that on your face.
Don't touch it.
Shea butter. Yeah. And a lot of acne products are formulated with those. It's the lack of education and the misinformation in this industry is, I think, what causes so much of the pain. I'm such an advocate for getting the real facts and truth out there. And it's really not that complicated once you know a few things.
I completely agree. I think it becomes complicated with social media and TikTok trends and good marketing, products with really good marketing and influencers. And it's amazing because people would rather trust that now than a professional, until it gets to the point where it's so far down the track that the problem that you could have fixed is like, poof, is huge.
To that I say, and you're right, it's overwhelming on social media. And people in that position where I used to be don't know who to believe. They don't know they read the 5-star reviews, they listen to the influencers, they listen to regular people, and everything works. And what I always say is, okay, if you're going to try something, give it 12 weeks. Acne takes 12 weeks. And it does. I mean, we have a very, very small handful of people that extend beyond that. When you know what you're doing and you know how to treat it and you know the triggers to remove, it does not, because it takes acne from the day it's formed, it takes acne 1 month to 3 months to get to the surface. Beyond that, something else is going on. So I always tell people, try what you want, take pictures, but if it goes past 12 weeks without a huge improvement, look into something else maybe, because you can get stuck in that for so long, years. I mean, most people have it for years. I did. I had it for years. And so I encourage people to stick to that time frame if they're trying something new.
Yes, I think that's so important is managing expectations, because we do live in an instant gratification kind of world and we want something to fix it overnight. Well, let me put that pimple patch on. Let me do this. Why isn't it working? It's like, it's only been like 3 days. You can't change a condition that has been manifesting for 15, 20 or 30 or 40 years overnight. You have to allow those things to take time to fix. And I think that that's so important, is managing that expectation.
You really do. And it's kind of funny because, like I said, and you just said, people will have acne for, let's just say 10 years, 5 years, 10 years. And then they get impatient when they start with our program, for example. And it only takes, and I remind them, this only takes 12 weeks. I mean, think of how long you've had acne. And, but even treating topically, really powerfully, it's that acne still comes up. I've never figured out a way. I mean, it helps. The topicals help suppress, but that still has to come out.
Yes.
And if you've removed your triggers, once it all comes out, no more is there.
Yeah.
That's how it works, basically. But we do a lot of powerful topicals to try to mitigate the breakouts. And it does help a lot. It helps a lot, but it still takes the time it takes. It's really rare that somebody will extend past that. And it's also the best defense people have against all these theories and things that don't work. Again, I've never had a case of acne that has taken 6 months without an explanation, without this snuck in, you binged on a whole bunch of whey protein. And then when you do that, that extends that timeline. So if people stick to the 12 weeks, they can free themselves from getting trapped in things that don't work for months and months and years, which happens a lot.
That is, I mean, it's utterly incredible that you can actually solve 95% of people's acne in that 12 weeks. That is really, that is like that really in the scheme of things. Unbelievable. And if people are dedicated and want that, they can achieve that.
I know people want it fast. And so I figured out every way possible to make it happen as fast as possible. Like I said earlier, while we dig into the holistic stuff, and you can do all of that at the same time, but often that stuff won't give you the quick result. And if you ask, probably every single person who you ask will say, yes, please, I want it fast. And I'll keep healing, but I really need this off my face. So that's how I approach everyone. We go as fast as possible, and so that they can have that self-love a lot quicker, because with self-love and not feeling so self-conscious in the world, everything's possible. That's what this is really all about.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's so true. And I think that's the biggest gift. Removing the acne is one thing, but literally changing a life and building that confidence and self-love to be able to walk around in your skin comfortably and confidently is
unlike anything else. And people who don't have acne can never understand, but the people that we work with, myself included, transform. You just, when I had acne, it was terrible. I'm a very positive person. I'm optimistic. I have a really healthy self-esteem. And I got to a point where I was depressed and I didn't want to leave my house. And that was shocking for me. And it was all because of my skin. I didn't want anybody to see me. And that's just the feeling. I'm so thankful I finally found something that did help, because life was not fun. I couldn't even pretend to function normally. It was just not fun. And I think I have so much compassion for people because of my experience.
Which allows you to really connect with them and change that, it's beautiful. So can you explain then a little, without obviously giving your program away, but how your virtual program works? Because I think so many people might be a little confused, love the idea of a virtual thing, but a little confused that how do you treat this virtually?
Yeah, it's a big question. And I think the common myth is that you need facials or treatments to get results. And I figured this out on accident, because I had a business in a remote area. That's where I started my business, and I moved, and I still had a bunch of requests for help with skin. And I said, oh my gosh, I don't I don't know, but I guess we'll try. Here's some products, here's how to use them. And anyway, what I noticed is it worked. And it worked and it worked and it kept working. And so that was years ago. And I've refined the process so much. And so basically, the main part of it and the most important part is I do a really big assessment in the beginning. And you have to fill out basically a health intake. And I ask very specific questions to gather the information that I need. And I have to figure out first what your root causes are. So once I figure that out for you, then I select products. And I have a little conversation with you and say, okay, you're going to have to avoid peanut butter. That's too much. We need to change those supplements.
Yeah.
I have a very good way of identifying triggers. And that's what it's all about, because I have incredible products. In my opinion, they're really, really good. But even those are not going to help if, for example, you're having too much B12 or there's iodine. So that's the most important part of it. So if we have that, and I know what the cause is for that particular person, they get the products that are customized. And then I do it all through photos. So every 2 weeks, they upload photos and I have the whole thing recorded. It's step by step by step. This happens, this happens, this happens. Don't forget to avoid this. And every 2 weeks, I require them to upload their photos to me. And I'm over here looking at those pictures and I can tell if things are going smoothly, or I can tell if this person's had too much dairy, or if something's sneaking in, they use the wrong shampoo. I can tell that too. And so I track them on my side with the photos. They do the program on their side, and they're clear in the 12 to 16 week period sometimes, but mostly 12.
That's amazing. I think that's incredible. And I love that the skin's not going to lie. It's like if you've snuck off to the kitchen and you've done something you shouldn't, it's
yeah.
Hello, we're here.
I do want to say I'm not super strict about diet. There's just a few things that you really have to stop. But what I also notice, this happens very often, is people get really paranoid. Oh my gosh, I messed up. Oh my gosh, I had dairy. Oh my gosh. And it's not, you can have 4 days of dairy. You can have 4 servings of dairy a week. You just can't have 7. And most of the time is spent, don't worry, you're fine. If I notice that they're not, I'll let them know. But most of the time it's paranoia. And I do a lot of education on, you're totally fine. One of my best cases that I have, he's on my website, was a guy who almost deliberately, he wanted it super easy. He didn't want to change anything. And I said, okay, I'm going to push this just to the limit. He had one of the most severe cases of acne I've ever seen. And we did the topical protocol, and he vaped tobacco every single day, about a pack a day, which is a no-no. I mean, you know how that goes with the skin. I know he didn't want to stop. And I said, let's just see how far we can go. He had ice cream bars, he had sugar, he had dairy, but he stuck to that limit that I set for him. He really pushed it to the edge, and he cleared beautifully in 12 weeks. He had one little pimple left in 12 weeks, but he was not strict about his diet. But that's how I allow most people to be. And that's what I encourage, because I want them to live their lives normally and not feel like they're doing everything wrong and paranoid. The whole point is to be relaxed and just let the products work and do their job and enjoy your life.
And you've got to have a balance in life. You can't, if you have a restriction, the more you restrict something, the more you want something. And then that creates the anxiety, which then builds your cortisol, which then again creates a whole nother myriad of problems.
And fortunately with acne, the main things they have to really avoid are in the supplements, and no one's really that attached to their supplements. Like, and we have alternatives for the ones they have to quit. So it's not like emotional eating. They also I require them to avoid whey protein shakes, and then peanut butter. I will allow them to have it once every 2 weeks, but those are easy. Like, you can get a replacement for whey protein, and peanut butter. You can do any other nut butter. You can do almond butter. It's not been an issue.
Yeah, completely. That's amazing. So what would be some immediate acne solutions for people at home before they sort of came to see you, or if they're suddenly like, oh my God, I'm getting a breakout, what could I do?
Oh, one of the best things to do for inflamed breakouts is icing. It's really, really effective. It takes a couple of days to see the result, but I encourage people so you would wash your face, and you would take basically an ice cube. You can wrap it in a little towel or a paper towel, and just roll it around on the pimple, or if you have inflamed acne all over, roll it around on the inflamed areas, no longer than a minute on the whole face. And do that do that nightly. But if you really want to expedite it, do it twice a day. And by day 3, things just go away. I recommend people do that. I don't require it, but the ones who do in my program, the ones who do clear so much faster. So I almost am starting to make it a requirement because we want it really fast. But that's one of the best free and most effective things that somebody can do at home.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so simple and accessible and free and free.
Free, and just try it. It sounds almost too good to be true. Just try it.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it does, but it works. Now that said, I don't know what is causing things to come up.
Of course.
But still, it does really, really calm the skin. And almost everyone has inflamed acne of some kind.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got acne, it's inflamed generally. So it's a great, especially if you've got something and it's flared up and you've got an event or you've got something on that day and you're like, oh my God, I need something really quick. And then, so what about I know that your program, obviously we can treat acne without facials and in-clinic treatments, but a lot of people want that. We've got acne scars, or we've got chemical peels and microneedling to help expedite this process if you can access it and want to do that. Could you talk us through some of those modalities and in-clinic treatments?
So in our in-clinic treatments, we do chemical peels. The chemical peels, basically what they do best is they help to lift and mitigate post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, so the dark marks. Although I do have something in my program that does that as well. So chemical peels, and we do not do microneedling until somebody's skin is clear. But you're right, with scarring, this is what we used to do, and then I'll tell you what we're currently doing, which I think is really exciting. Microneedling can stimulate breakouts, and it can cause purging to happen when you're having active acne. So we get people clear, and then if they have scarring, we transition into needling. But the new and really exciting treatment that we're having a lot of fun with and seeing incredible results is called jet plasma. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
It's brand new. It was just released not last year, but in end of 2022. Mm-hmm. And it's really exciting. So almost overnight. So I got these devices. I read all the science, and I'm really skeptical, and I don't do the trendy stuff, but this one was very compelling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it works kind of the same as we do the micro channeling. Actually, I like that modality, but it works kind of in the same way. And so we started practicing with it in our clinic, and that's almost how we treat everybody now.
Wow.
Because what it does is it stops, it's like an acne and scar treatment in one. So by the time they're done with their acne treatment, they don't have the scars.
Wow.
It's incredible. And so it basically creates high level collagen production mm-hmm. in clinic, or each time they get the treatment. And that just stimulates and grows the collagen and prevents the scarring, and also treats the acne at the same time. It's incredible. The device is made specifically for aging, and acne was just kind of a side thing. We use it predominantly in our acne clinic.
Wow.
And we are loving it. All of our treatments are about probably 80% jet plasma acne treatments at this point. It's just, we don't mess around. I like to go fast. I like people to get results, and then you don't have to spend all that money and time on scar treatments.
I would say it's a 2-for-1, but it's a 3-for-1, because the acne clients are now also getting free anti-aging treatment.
Yes, exactly. Oh, and I forgot about a really common and really, really good modality, and that's the LED. The LED light. We all love that. So, and we do that post needling, post jet plasma as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so beneficial for so many things. We keep it really simple. I focus on equipment that works.
Yep.
And that's what we focus on.
I love that. I think that is so, I just love the whole philosophy, and that you are doing the best that you can to treat people as quickly and as fast as possible to get the results, but also with the managed expectation of it's not going to happen overnight. But 12 weeks really is overnight. And I think that is unbelievable.
And that's, I want to make a point about this actually, because you actually can go a little faster. I have just found that most people, you can go a little faster, for example, by omitting dairy and avoiding really avoiding certain foods. But most people, we ask them, and most people just don't, they're not going to stick to it. They don't want to change their lifestyle all that much. And so we just do the 12-week. If someone has a wedding or they're in a big, huge rush, we can make it a lot faster. But often, again, that's very restrictive and it's not sustainable. So I like to teach people how to get the result and sustain it in real life.
Yeah, I think that's the key to everything. It is that balance. It is just ensuring that you can achieve the results without, flipping one way or the other way. It's just everything has got to be in balance, and that's beautiful.
Or living in a box and then being so worried you're going to make a mistake and all your acne is going to come back. Like, that's a great theory, and it really causes people so much stress. That's why I do it the simplest possible. If you want to go deep and you want to go really deep healing, do that. And if you make a mistake, you're going to be okay because we got you covered.
Yeah, we've got you covered. We've got your back. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, you are. You can make mistakes and it won't ruin, because otherwise it does.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's it's just so incredible. I would also just like to backtrack quickly because you mentioned that somebody using the wrong shampoo can offset their acne again. And I think some people might be aware of this, but I think a lot of people go, oh, topical products just literally just means the skin. But your shampoos and your conditioners and your hair products, even your makeup, they can all affect your skin. And so does your range have shampoo and conditioner, or do you have products that you recommend? And what kind of shampoos and conditioners can offset the acne?
Yeah, really, really good question. You are absolutely right. This is one of the biggest, I talk about this so much because it's so overlooked. We have to tell people 10 times before they'll finally start to make a connection. Usually only then it's because they're still breaking out, and then they'll go back and start to listen. And so with hair care, it's interesting. It doesn't affect every single person like topical skin products does, but I would say it affects 50% of acne clients. I'm one of those people, so I have to be very, very careful with my hair care. Some people can use anything and they're fine. But more and more and more, I've found that number is increasing. I don't know why. I think labs are changing. I think there's a lot more coconut oil use. It didn't used to be a big deal when I did the 10, 15 years ago, but it is now. So it's going to be those same ingredients in skincare. And in shampoos and conditioners, you will find a lot of coconut oil, shea butter, sodium lauryl sulfate. That the sulfates are the big ones. So on the clogging scale, that's a 5. And that's in so many. So then people will try to avoid chemical, they'll go natural, and then you have all the clogging oils there. And so then people will say, okay, well, I'm really careful in the shower. I wash my hair backward or off my face, and then I wash my face after. But what happens is the conditioner, for example, and any other product you're using coats your hair, and then you go to sleep, and it gets on the pillowcase. And then while you sleep, it inevitably gets onto your face and causes acne. So it's not just in the shower. And another telltale sign about hair care is if you have chest and back breakouts. And if you really start to ask people, their hair hangs down onto those areas and the shampoo washes off onto those areas. And so really body acne is a very simple fix. 90% of it is simple. I tell them, change your body wash, change your hair care, and we barely treat for that. If and I say give it a month. If it hasn't improved, come back and we can do some topicals. But mostly that does it. That's how clogging though hair care can be. So it's a big deal, and people don't think about it because why would they? I totally get it.
I'm being clean. I'm washing my hair.
Yeah, I'm treating my face with all these great products. What does my hair have to do with it? But it's so hard to find good hair care. I did have to develop my own. We do have some, but I also do have a list. It takes a lot of time to pour through all the options out there, but I do have a list, and anybody listening, I'd be happy to send it. So I have a long list of options, and it's really no brand. It's not brand specific, but it's just what can I find out there that doesn't have those ingredients that clog. And there are options. So that's encouraging, but people who have acne do really have to be careful.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. And I think it's so good to be aware. And again, it's that whole thing of the body, the mind, the spirit, the products, everything it's just a big circle, and you have to have that harmony to make it all go away and come together.
You do. Yes. And especially to be happy, just to be happy and confident There's nothing more powerful than a happy, confident woman. Men too. We love our guys. They're heartbreaking, but we really, the women, like women are just they feel so small when this happens to them. And women, we're powerful. So we want to feel our best and look our best.
We do. We want to feel, you can see it in a woman, even if there are some women who have acne, but they're self-confident. Obviously, if they're treating it and going through that, they've got this confidence about them. You don't even see it because if you are good in here, that will literally override what's happening out here. So if you can fix out there and in there, you can conquer the world. Absolutely conquer the world, girl.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. So where can people find you, follow you, learn about your program, and get all the necessary information?
So theacnecoach.com is my website, and that's for my virtual program, assuming people listening don't live here in Anchorage, Alaska, which most don't. Yeah. So theacnecoach.com, and on there I have a really great 1 or 2 free downloads with the top 10 things that cause acne, the top 10 things that don't cause acne. That's just as important, because I think a lot of people read that and they're like, oh, and it's so accurate. And then from there, if they just email the Acne Coach, the emails on the website, I can provide to them the list of hair care. I'm very generous. I just really want to help in all of these small ways. And on Instagram, I'm the Acne Coach, and just about to start YouTube with the same name. So that's coming as well.
Fantastic. Oh, we'll definitely have to give you a follow there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a long time, been a long time coming, but I'm working.
Look, there's only so much you can do. I mean, we want to do all the things, but understanding that even if we are powerful and we want to conquer the world, you got to do it one step at a time.
We do. That's exactly what it's one step. And that's the next step. And I've been wanting to for a long time, but building the program, building the products, and YouTube's coming, because I have so much to share and so much to say. And again, my biggest thing is clearing the acne misinformation. And that's what they will get through my channel 100% is this true? Is this not true? Is this going to help? Is it not? And it'll save people so much time and so many years of breaking out.
Yes. Oh, how exciting. Oh, I can't wait for that. Well, as soon as that is up and live, we'll add it to the show notes and so that everyone can get to that. But thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge and spending some time with us today. I think everyone is absolutely going to love this, and you might have some new clients come your way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I love talking skin, and you understand skin. So I really appreciate the opportunity.
My absolute pleasure.
Thanks for watching this episode of Your Glow Code. If you found something helpful, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps the show grow. Don't forget to subscribe for more chats on skincare, the signs of feeling good in your skin, health, and wellness. Leave us a comment. We'd love to know your thoughts and what your favourite moment was, and give us a follow on Instagram. See you in the next one.